Hello, Cochise County. Welcome back to another episode of the Cool FM Live Sports Show, brought to you by Seniors Helping Seniors. I'm your host, Jon Berger, and joining me today are Coach Dennis Baker. How are you doing, man?
Good. Ready to get after it.
You look bright and shiny and very fancy.
Hey, it's Saturday, man. It's Saturday. It's
Coach,
the weekend.
Yeah, this is Saturday close. This is not
clean, man.
This guy's looking good.
We're on TV. We're on Cool FM.
Well, all right. Well, Coach Kevin Lassiter, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good to be here.
Yeah, all right. Well, we all got to see some amazing games this weekend, so let's get into what we've got going on.
Yeah, man. Let's get right into the top 10 plays of last night, Friday Night Lights. Starting with play number 10. We got a Douglas. We're probably wondering, wait, why are they showing a punt on the top 10 plays? It must be a great punt return, right?
Or no.
Oh, right out
That's
there.
a scoop score for Douglas's Matt Hudson going in for the touchdown there. That was one of the only few highlights for Douglas, unfortunately, as we talk more about their game later on. This was one of Bisbee's top play, regular. Hunter Wright, this is off the kickoff return. And he's just doing what he does.
Oh, my gosh.
Green grass, baby.
He's pretty quick.
That's for a touchdown. Yeah, he's a big-time playmaker for them.
Oh, here we go with
Ricardo Brooks back from injury at Buena.
Oh, it's great
this
to
is
see
off
my
of
dad.
an end around.
Right there. I was like, oh, he's back.
Yes.
That's the guy we've been waiting for,
Ricardo
hey,
Brooks
man.
back
Good to
for
see him
Buena.
back.
Staying in the Buena backfield, let's look at Michael Lujan, who's always doing this type of stuff.
Look at
No, you
this.
thought he was down. He's not down.
Michael, the grown man, Lujan.
I know.
That kid's a beast.
Yeah, he runs like a grown man.
Tank.
We're going to go to play number 6. I love this. This is the Richardson brothers connect on a long touchdown pass there. That's Miles Richardson on the catch there, doing what he does. He's always on top plays and on highlights. Representing Valley Union.
Oh, there we go.
Remember this one.
Game of the week, Dawson Judd to his favorite target, Andrew Workman. Doing their thing, scoring a big touchdown there. That game was great.
Caleb let it
This
fly.
play, Caleb Layton finds his favorite target, Jaden Thomas, and doing what he always does.
Silence in the
quiet in the defense, and getting another touchdown pass. Look at this catch here.
This one. Oh, my God.
Darian Jackson.
You got mossed.
Yeah.
What a catch.
And there we go. This is
Miles Richardson. Look, I said he was a highlight player. Look at this.
He's
A little bit of speed, a little bit of agility, all that stuff.
I think he slowed up.
But our number one player of the week, this is a big-time play in a big-time game by a big-time player. Caleb Cook beats the entire Benson defense. This is a big game, big play. It probably clinches and wins the game for
that definitely was a nail in the coffin.
Got to give it up for Caleb Cook there and Wilcox. And those are just some of the plays. Trust that. There was 10 plays. We have highlights from all of the games coming up, but those are just some of the best plays that we've seen thus far. We want to thank Seniors Helping Seniors for bringing that to us. Speaking of Seniors Helping Seniors, if you are searching for a like-minded friend to tackle chores and tasks, or if you seek a companion to join you in hobbies and activities, call Seniors Helping Seniors. Their caregivers are seniors themselves. They show up ready to exceed expectations on a schedule that meets your needs, including overnight. Or make a difference by joining Seniors Helping Seniors and their caregiving family. Their teams consist of mature, compassionate adults who thrive on assisting and connecting with other wonderful individuals. Check them out at southernarizonaSHS.com. or just give them a call at 520-487-4246. That's Seniors Helping Seniors. Check them out.
Thank you so much. All right, now we're getting into the game highlights. We have a full slate of games as all Cochise teams were in action. So let's break down some of these
Big
games.
night of football.
Dude, let's get into what looks like Valley Union's up first.
Yeah.
So Valley Lutheran.
Yeah, Valley Union went to Valley Lutheran.
Oh, there we go. All
He
right.
scooped that ball up off the turf right there.
Yeah, that's Michael DeRozzo. 2 straight touchdown passes here on the highlight. You can see, Valley Union pretty much controlled this game from the start. We already saw a couple plays on the top 10 plays of the Richardson brothers.
Rolling out with blockers in front. They cutting back across the field. Okay, he's zigging, he's zagging.
That's James Richardson,
Yeah.
the quarterback. Making plays.
Brothers making it happen.
Yeah.
Over the top here.
Wow.
They score a lot of points.
That was an interception, right?
That was just a long ball. And here's that pop pass that we saw on one of the top plays there.
Yeah.
Again, you said brother to brother.
James
here.
Richardson to Miles Richardson.
Oh my. I love it. He's out hustling those guys. Oop,
Oh,
tip ball.
Tip drill.
Hey,
Yep.
there's
Hey,
that
you
kid,
know, this
Michael
kid right
DeRozzo
here.
again.
Hey, he will get the ball off the turf, man. I like this.
Yeah.
Over the top
That's an
again.
interception.
Oh, that's a pick, okay.
By Michael DeRozzo.
Hands everywhere.
We saw
Little
this play
counter play.
earlier. Miles Richardson make a man miss, break a tackle, make a man
Wow.
miss, break another tackle, get outside, and he's gone.
That
Is
lateral,
wow.
that little lateral move where he hops, kind of reminds me of
He's
Barry a
got
little
great
bit.
A
vision.
little Barry Sanders in him.
He's got great vision.
Here's his brother James Richardson showing you the same type of ability.
Ooh, he's holding that ball
gonna
way
buy a
out
loaf of
there.
bread.
That's dangerous, man. I don't even do that.
He's like, come on, man. That's his 8-man football. I got this. You're here, Luna, running back. He gets in, and he must be the power guy. He's getting all the short touchdowns.
Short yardage specialist.
Getting it done.
That's a great
You
ball.
see highlight after highlight here for Valley Union. Obviously, they win big. They win
Congrats to the
big.
Blue Devils.
58-6.
That's incredible.
They go on to 6-2, and that was their last regular season game. As they'll be getting ready for playoffs. But they're steaming hot right now.
So we might actually. So we'll keep going, but there might actually be rankings or
should be
later,
coming out
yeah,
soon,
one
right?
later this
yeah.
week. Yeah.
No, I think actually
Today.
they
Oh,
come
it should
out.
come out
Okay.
today.
Okay.
So we'll see how
I'll
that
say
goes.
this about Valley Union. We see how many highlights they have right there. They're a high-powered offense. They are going into the postseason red hot. They won 4 straight games with an average score of 55-3. That's what they've been doing their last 4 or 5
That's cooking with
games.
gas, baby.
Gotta be happy with that.
That's cooking with gas.
So you got Miles Richardson, James Richardson, Michael DeRozzo. You're here, Luna. These guys are playmakers. Hey, look for them to make some noise in the playoffs.
All right, next up, Bisbee took on Palo Verde in Tucson. Bisbee quarterback Tristan Meyer. Here we go with the big kickoff.
Oh yeah, I believe this was that play that was on the top plays. Hunter Wright.
Yep.
He took that right up
Yeah,
the
you
gut.
can see great speed right there. Hunter Wright is the big-time playmaker for this Bisbee team. He's always on the highlights. That was him there. This is him here. Catch a little bubble screen. He takes that to the house.
Now Fabian
Ooh,
Hernandez.
with the truck stick at the end of the
I
play.
know. Fabian Hernandez back to wearing number 11. So last week we didn't know this. I found out in the comments
He's
that
there on that play.
Yeah, he drills dudes. He wears number 60. So sometimes he wears number 60 and sometimes he wears number 11.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I
Interesting.
figured that out. And last week he had a great game, of course. And this week you can see him right there blocking back. But great little
Hunter
pass.
Wright with another catch from Tristan Meyer, quarterback.
So it looks like, when he was wearing number 11, that was when he was playing running back, and they moved him to the offensive line where he wears number 60 now, it looks like.
That's a rules compliance thing. Guys on the interior line got to have a certain range of numbers that they wear.
Yeah, I wonder if he switches numbers throughout the game.
And he can do that.
So see, Bisbee had a good game here. This game
Good
was
Lord.
close to the end. This game had a few player injuries. I heard there was a lot of penalties that caused that game to go late into the evening. But unfortunately,
That's not that bad. That's a pretty close game.
Seriously, it was a one-score game for much of the game.
Yeah.
Palo Verde scored in the fourth quarter to put them up 2 scores, but Bisbee answered right back. So they kept it within, Schubers a shot to get back in the game. Unfortunately, they came up a little bit short, and they dropped to 3-6 on the season.
All right.
17 and 26 were popular numbers last night. I think we're going to see that final score again somewhere else later in the show.
We'll see. Yeah.
St. David traveled to Baghdad to take on the undefeated Sultans. Oh, my.
Yeah, what a team name, right? They're the Baghdad
Sultans. I like that.
That was a great catch.
That was a
That
great
one-hander
one-hander
right
right there.
St. David quarterback.
Now
Cicerello.
this is 8-man
That's,
football, so you'll
Chase
see.
Pacheco.
Yeah, you'll see huge plays from these kids.
This game was very physical. St. David, plays that type of game. But,
That's right.
But Baghdad is a really impressive team. They were undefeated, and you can see why. Still great plays by St. David.
I really like watching the St. David team play. They're just a bunch of tough kids.
Look
They never quit. They always play hard.
Yeah.
And look at how they play. Both teams just being very physical.
Yeah.
I've said it before where
He broke that tackle too.
I think they could move to 11-man football, and I think they could be successful. The kids are big.
They lost that game last night, but it's only their second loss of the season.
Yeah, 7-2.
So they're 7-2. They're still, not only are they a playoff team, they're a team with state championship
For
aspirations.
sure. Those two teams that beat them were state champions.
Undefeated
Yeah,
teams,
like
right.
Yeah.
that's a great. I mean, I'm not going to say anything's a good loss, but that's not an embarrassing thing.
Right.
And remember, it's hard to beat somebody twice. So just because they got St. David this time, they're going to see one of the two teams that they lost to again in the playoffs.
I also heard that St. David was missing a few key players. You also have to consider the trip from St. David players to make that travel to Baghdad, which is way out there. That kind of plays into things a little bit. St. David is right where they want to be and where they need to be.
Yeah.
You see how they play. They're a tough physical team in 1A football. That means something. You see the contrast of St. David and Valley Union. Valley Union is a lot of highlight plays,
high
splash
flying.
offense.
Yeah.
St. David can give you a lot of highlights too, but it's a lot more physical, ground
Punch you
and
in the
pound.
mouth type squad.
Exactly.
I think if they were healthy, we would have seen a different game as well. So
Yeah, so shout out to St. David. We know they're going to get back on track, and we look forward to what they're going to do in the playoffs.
Now,
one of the teams of Cochise County that has realistic state championship aspirations.
True,
Yeah.
very true.
Definitely.
All right, ALA hosted Heritage, American Heritage Academy. Wow, so they scored 2 touchdowns in this game, which they'd only scored one time all season, and this is their very first season, so we're very proud of that.
And ALA, we're in the white on this highlight, so.
LA's in the blue.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because that's TJ
Oh,
Lee
yeah,
just
you're right,
throwing
you're
that
right.
pass right
Look
there.
how big
Yep.
that kid is. Number 14. Wow. I know his name. What is his name?
I don't remember. I don't have the rosters for the ALA guys, but this was I would say, the most impressive game by ALA all year.
Oh, for sure. Look, there they go. They get into the end
They
zone.
score here, and they're building something. They're a very, very young team, and they're still putting it together. This is their first year playing 11-man football,
Yeah.
so they're playing tougher competition. So give it time, and I think it's going to work. TJ Lee back here
I'm
looking for
seeing,
something.
the offensive line is giving him time, and he's able to scramble. Look at this catch.
That's
here.
Oh, good
a la
Lord.
Russell Wilson moonball
I
there from
know.
TJ Lee.
I'm
And who would you say of that on the catch? Larry Fitzgerald or something?
Oh my gosh! I've got to look up who that is because that was very cool.
Yeah, he made some big plays. Shout out to ALA for fighting through the season. I feel like they were an underdog in every game that they play all year. Like you said, jumping to 11-man and being that first year in that, it's going to have its
Especially
struggles.
with their youth. They're
Deontay,
a very young
that's-
team.
Deontay Echna.
Oh, Echenal, yeah.
Yeah, and he
Deontay
plays.
Echenal, yeah.
Yeah, he plays tight end, defensive end. I've seen him play a little bit of quarterback, a little bit of
Oh, yeah.
everything. Good job. Like that was a hard fought game, and he's coming down with. I mean, when someone throws the ball up like that, you're playing football. Dude, that's an injury ball. So that he got up from that tough kid. Well, I mean, that I would be mad at my quarterback if he did that to me. But
Well, it depends on how you look at it. Some receivers are like, hey, I'm glad you trust me that you just throw it up. And,
He done that somewhere.
yeah.
yeah, that's a prayer.
But
it goes up.
the fact that they're playing with that type of fire and fight still
sure.
going into their last few games of the season, haven't won a game yet, but they were intentional about getting on the board, scoring multiple times, showing improvement.
Yeah.
And they still got a couple games left that they can even improve on and end the season on an even higher note.
Those small wins are so important.
Yes,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
all wins are on the scoreboard. And I
Right.
think that's one of the things that Coach Krause is probably telling his players every week to keep them engaged, keep them motivated. And you see that small little improvements are happening. And again, very young team. I mean, you look at that roster, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, and so they got to build together. They got to come together, learning a new style of football. And I think, like I said, give it some time, and we're going to see some improvement. I think it's going to be a huge contrast between what we see this year and what we're going to see next year.
We've already seen huge improvement from week one. I covered game one, and it was a rough one. I mean, they lost their quarterback. They lost a lot of. I mean, that team they were a really big team. But I think ALA should be proud of their season, that they're coming along the way they are. So
yeah, you got to start somewhere, and these guys, these players, these coaches,
Krause,
they're going to be able to know that they were a part of the build or the foundation of something.
You know, if we look at Coach Thomas's success, he's a very successful coach right now, but he was given time, you know, and he was given a leash to overcome the things that he was overcoming. And man, you see what his program does right now. I mean, that's amazing.
It's not built overnight.
I totally agree. I mean, he took over a program by himself, totally new. And I mean, so what we're seeing out of ALA, they are building brand new. So I'm hoping that they can.
And like you said, you want to keep seeing the small victories each week, and you know that's eventually going to add up to a full season. So,
all right, Douglas hosted Saguaro.
Yeah, Douglas has a beautiful football field.
Nice job.
This is a great pass and catch. That's Matthew Hudson on that reception there. There weren't a whole lot of Douglas highlights there. Unfortunately, they were just a little outmatched facing Saguaro the other night, or last night. But
pass protection.
Yeah, Ivan Higuera, the quarterback there. You know, he's doing his thing. He's kind of a dual threat quarterback. Finds his receiver Matthew Hudson right there. But like I said, Saguaro is a really good team.
Ooh, gets a stick right there. Nice job. Game tackling, too. You got to be proud of a team that comes over and you end up with 2 or 3 people tackling every time.
Man, I like that full house in that backfield that they just ran out of.
Yeah.
We're going to get everybody back there blocking for you.
Nice run on that. Nice run. This was the one of the top plays. Again, I think Matthew Hudson for Douglas had a great game. He had a few receptions. That's him being quick on the ball right there.
Yeah. That's just being smart, being aware, and knowing, hey, it's a live ball, and I can do something with it.
Yeah,
exactly.
If it's a punt that makes the top plays, it's a bingo or a no-no. That was a no-no.
Hey, look at that. We're ghost.
Hey, I've been told I'm very light, but see-through is a little bit too much, man.
I've never been told I was light-skinned, but I guess I am.
All right. Well, we could just keep going on. It is Halloween. We could just act like we're the ghosts.
Nobody wants to see us anyway. Let's just go to Tombstone.
Totally
let's show the players in the plays.
Yep, let's go Tombstone. They hosted Tankerverde.
A little heads-up play here, jumping on top of a fumble.
And we know, much like ALA, we talk about their struggles. Tombstone's kind of in the same situation. Undermanned, kind of an underdog all of their games. This was a nice play. That was a fumble recovery that they returned all the way back.
It's a tough run right here. Getting to the outside, getting upfield, breaking the tackle. I like it. I'm going to always show some love to the Tombstone Yellow Jackets because I know the adversity they faced this year.
Absolutely.
And just trying to assemble a team.
I think it's so cool, man. They put together such... the resilience that we see in that we talk about how sports is a test in resilience all the time, and that really is the lesson. Yeah. And even overcoming a losing season and just finishing the game, man. Like treat it like it's a marathon.
Yeah.
You know, don't give up.
That's a good point.
And it's going to be great for your brain. You know, when you play on a bad team and then the next year you play on a very good team, or let's say you're one of those seniors leading that team right now, and it's like, man, it feels real hard right now. But giving that good. Oh, there we go. We're back.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like I said about ALA is you get to be a part of the foundation of the build.
Yes.
So even if you're a senior on Tombstone, yes, you're proud that your season didn't get canceled.
Yeah.
Be
Yes.
proud that you got to, even though it was tough and we were underdogs and it was going to be a tough challenge, we finished it all the way through. We still got a win in the season, and you know that things are going to be turning up, and you were a part of that foundation and a part of that rebuild.
Character building moments
Yes.
taking place in Tombstone.
Absolutely.
Think about it. A lot of kids on that team have never played football before. You know, but they said, hey, our school can't go without a team. So I'll jump out there, I'll be brave, and I'll get out there and get in it to try to help, for the school, for the town. And so you got to respect that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
New coach, new players, a lot of stuff going on. Again, another program facing adversity because they had their former head coach, he left last year and went on to a different opportunity.
Right.
So they're just fighting an uphill battle. But when they got a win this season, I felt like that's a championship for them.
That's the biggest test and courage
Right.
I've seen all season, is them overcoming not having a team and then putting together enough to get a win. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm very proud of that team.
I have some ties to Tombstone. I coached at Tombstone at one point, and some of the Tombstone graduates, they were disappointed when they heard that the season was in question or possibly being canceled, and a lot of alumni, I'm sure we all come from places that we'd be disappointed if we heard that our school was going
heartbreaking.
to. We'd rather play the season even if we lost every game, but at least field the team and put some people out there that are going to play with pride and all that. So I know a lot of people in the area, Southern Arizona, that have connections to Tombstone. They're still proud of this team for going out and doing what they've done so far, and looking forward to next year.
Toughness, man. That's what I see.
So we'll take this time to thank another one of our sponsors, Prestige Remodeling and Restoration of Sierra Vista. We want to thank them for partnering with us here at the Cool FM Sports Show and all the support they show us and all the local athletes. Prestige has pioneered a visionary approach that empowers exceptional service, reinvigorating the fundamental principles of customer-centric service. As a licensed general contractor, including plumbing, electrical, they proudly cater to both commercial and residential needs. Please visit them at prestigesierravista.com.
We're down to our final two games.
There's some big ones. Our two games of the week. Let's start with Buena, our 5A team of the area.
Big deep ball. So this, look at Jaden Thomas just go right over the top of that defensive back. That guy isn't injured, by the way. That guy's just embarrassed.
Yeah.
Oh man,
This is my guy.
Bouncing outside. I know.
That's TJ Walker?
TJ Walker,
Did you see
Mr. I
how
can do
many-
it all.
Wow.
He had like 5 cuts there.
Wow.
And that little bubble throw out to Jaden Thomas on the outside. So we get a lot of his offensive plays. And this guy right here, holy smokes.
Workhorse.
Michael Lujan.
Michael, let's get it on Lujan.
Yeah, did you see him drop his shoulder?
Yes, sir.
I am going to punish the guy at that 1 yard line.
This is a big time play by him.
That was a really great pass and catch. And then that small little cut to just get yourself more yards.
That guy was an
And
absolute
he
animal.
scored.
They had a couple kids, 0. So he broke 3 tackles.
I was impressed
on
by
that
number 11 on Casa Grande.
Yeah,
this
got-
run by Michael Lujan was nuts.
one. Yeah, I know. 3
His
broken
legs
tackles right
never stop moving.
No.
He's got strong base, man.
So
He's tough to bring down.
when I see him run, I see Scatabo.
Okay.
That's a
low
good
runner.
comparison.
Okay.
And
Look at this catch, though.
I like to call him Pocket Derrick Henry.
there you go. There
That's
you
number
go.
Heck of a
11.
catch.
Number 11.
Avion
Remember that.
Williams.
Remember
Avion
that. You're
Williams.
gonna see him a few other times.
Strike coming out of Leighton's hands right there.
He's got a recruit.
And that was to my guy, the Swiss Army knife, Garrett.
Oh yeah, he's had such a great. Oh, pop that
was
ball
Jaden
out,
comes out.
baby.
Jaden with the peanut punch.
And then
Yeah.
Tariq.
So that was.
But they ruled that an
overturned.
incomplete pass. afterwards, yeah. Look at this play.
That's a sneak. That's a 4th and 1 right there. Oh my gosh.
I had a
We
couple
can slow that
conversations
down.
with the coaches this week, and this kid is all they talked about.
Oh yeah.
And I can see why.
He's the real deal, man.
He's a unit.
That was an interception by Jaden Thomas.
Did you see that?
That
Wow.
was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, you
He
could.
wears number 1 for a reason, ladies and gentlemen.
Ricardo
Here he
Brooks.
comes back.
I'm so happy to see him out here again. Huh?
Yeah, his ankle looking pretty good right there.
Like we said, it was more mental than physical at this point. He's trusting it. He's playing on it. He's looking good.
As a sprinter, it's so hard to run on an injury.
Nice little just throw it over the top.
Poor tackling and,
Yep,
and
angles.
yeah.
Yeah.
On the other long pass they played, I thought it was bad angle as well, too.
Lujan blasting up the middle right
How
there
many-
like he always does.
How many 10 plus, 20 plus runs do you think he had last night? I didn't get to count them all, but he had something like
Didn't he have
5.
200 and something rushing?
250 yards.
That's crazy.
3 rushing touchdowns. He had a
Almost
great
every running
catch.
play of Mike Lujan looked like this.
Yeah.
Just breakaway runs. I mean, you saw the post-game interview that Jared had with him, and he talked about he had a little mistake in the beginning of the game with a fumble, and that just energized him to really get himself together and do his best, and that turned to a 250-yard, 3-touchdown performance?
Yes. It was a goal line fumble.
That's an interception there. I think
Oh,
that's
TJ
that Walker? Yep.
So good.
And then
There he
Walker would have
goes.
run up the middle.
And those were back-to-back plays.
Wow.
He got that interception and then made that touchdown run on the very next play.
Coming into this season, I felt like Walker was kind of in the shadow of Brooks.
Another
and,
interception by
Thomas
Jaden
again.
in the end zone.
But Walker's holding his own out there, man.
Yeah.
He's
Man, you
an
ain't
amazing
lying.
player.
Yeah, he's the outside
You are not
linebacker,
lying,
kind of safety,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see him running the ball like that.
He kind of emerged as another option to when Ricardo Brooks went out.
He stepped
He was
right into
he was the
those
next
shoes.
guy behind Lujan.
Okay.
And he started making splash plays
Yep.
here and there.
So-
but defensively, TJ Walker has always been solid.
Yeah, he's always been
Remember
solid.
when they played, I think it was Mountain View, and he had a really tall receiver he played against, and he was just in, was Mountain View or maybe the game before that?
Marana.
Marana had a
Yeah.
real, and he just he really in tight coverage all night, man.
Yeah.
He's making his
Yeah, he
money
ended
on
up,
both
I
sides
think
of
he
the ball.
caused the interception. He tipped the ball.
He's
and got
one
an
of the
interception.
strongest kids
Oh
on the
my
team.
goodness.
So
Yeah,
like
he is.
he's dealing with press coverage super well. You can tell like he's got that thick lower base.
No,
kinda
he's
like
impressive in the
Lujan.
weight room.
Yeah.
And he's been playing through injury. He had an injury like to his wrist that he's been playing with. He had a cast on his wrist for most of the season that he's been
gosh.
playing through. So, banged up, but you couldn't tell by the way he's been performing.
I know these kids are tough.
I mean, he's just a phenomenal athlete.
Well,
you know,
that was
Shout
a
out to him. He's
49.
doing a great job.
Yeah, the 49-33 win.
Yeah,
win
shootout kind of. I mean,
Dude, it really was. And so we missed Caleb Layton's first touchdown. He ran the ball in. It was like a quarterback sneak or like an option. And then there was another play, and I can't remember who. I think that was a Lujan touchdown that we didn't get to see. But it wasn't a
I'm
long
glad you
touchdown.
brought that up because I don't think we have given Caleb Layton enough
I
credit.
totally agree.
Because-
agree. You are.
And not purposely. It's not to disrespect him. It's just that you have Michael Lujan, you have Jaden Thomas,
I wanna
you
make a
have
point.
TJ Walker.
That's such a
you
good
have
job.
all these guys making all these highlights. And then defensively, you got
And
the
a-
Krause brothers.
Exactly.
And all this stuff. So
And
it's
so
like he
many-
kind of gets lost in the.
Because so many of Buena's standout players are two-way guys as well.
Yeah.
And so, when you got 9 guys on your team that are mentionable at any time.
Yeah.
And it's not that Layton's not good because he's been great.
No,
this year.
yeah.
Cooper Krause averaging 16
That's
tackles per
number
game.
one tackle guy in the
Tackle
county.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's got to be really high in the state too.
Yeah, right.
Trenton Williams playing super. Who else? Oh, so we were
The
talking
other
about
Krause.
the other Krause.
Jackson
yeah,
Krause.
Jackson
Younger
Krause,
brother.
he's
But,
doing his thing.
So Caleb Layton was averaging 25 yards per reception, and it was something like 10 yards just per pass. Even an incomplete pass
included,
still
yeah.
counts. So
Shout out to Caleb Layton.
leading
Jaden
the
Thomas
team.
has been the top receiver, and he's not doing that if he doesn't have a quarterback getting him the ball. And Caleb Layton is a playmaker himself. He's got some rushing touchdowns, and a lot of those long plays to Jaden. He's buying time. He's being elusive and getting away from guys.
Don't forget that running play he had maybe 2 weeks ago where he had the 2 jukes and took defenders down to the ground.
yes.
And
Yeah.
a very underlooked part of his game, he can punt.
Yeah,
he
so
can
that's
punt.
the other thing. You remember John Elway used to do that, and they used to sneak him in there, and they were like, okay, we're going to go for a fourth and long, and then they just drop him back there, and they had nobody. They'd like send back the safety to try and return that punt. Yeah. So there's a lot of like things that
Dawson Judd also does that for Benson at a high level as well too. So.
And those are just things in the playoffs that are just additive. You know.
And fortunately for Buena, they're getting healthy at the right time.
Oh man, and their special teams look so good. So congratulations to them.
Absolutely. So Buena is now, what is that? They
5-3, man.
5-3.
Yeah.
Still in control of their own destiny. They have 2 games left. They take care of business there. They're going to be in the postseason and still playing football. So shout out to Buena, and we look forward to seeing them next week.
All right. Next up, we've got Wilcox hosting Benson. This is the game of the week.
Yes. I believe you were on the call on that game.
And there's Dawson Judd airing it out down the field for a big game. Again, Benson coming out of their spread offense, and Judd was wheeling and dealing. He's scrambling. He's throwing. I call him Superman because he was everywhere doing everything last night. Judd with the strike here in the end zone, throwing very accurate passes to where places where only his receivers can catch the ball. But Hill with a deep throw here that gets picked off. So we just saw Judd throw a touchdown and then catch an interception. Judd here again, airing it out downfield to his main man Workman. Workman did work on the offense, but he also has some defensive appearances as well. This kid is amazing, great athlete, great speed. Hill dropping back the pass here, looking deep, decides to tuck in and run. This is a nice big run right here to keep their drive alive. He got out of bounds and didn't take a hit. Smart play by the young sophomore quarterback. And then a big handoff right here to their big threat, Caleb Cook. Took this ball about 60 yards down the field for a score. This score was the score that put them ahead and kind of put the nail in the coffin to seal the deal for the Wilcox Cowboys last night. This game lived up to all the hype. This is Judd scrambling, looking for something downfield. He decides to keep it and just go ahead and get the yards that he needs. Took a solid hit to end that game too. Hill, the young quarterback, dropping back here. Jump ball, thrown downfield, caught. And this one was caught by Asher Ward. He took it and got the yards he needed. Ward, like toes, barely in bounds. This play right here, most impressive ball that Hill threw all night. That fade ball he threw to Jackson, oh my goodness. I mean, just one-handed, hooked it in. Great ball, great throw. All night, they were waiting for a one-on-one matchup. Wilcox was trying to get a one-on-one matchup with Jackson on the corner, and that was finally when they got it. That was like maybe the only play of the night where there wasn't a safety bringing help over the top, and Jackson brought it home and did what he was supposed to do. Great play, great game by the Cowboys.
Is Jackson a senior?
No, he's a junior.
Good.
So there's one more year that we'll get to see him play, and then get to see his quarterback who hopefully develops more in the offseason. And I'd like to see the Cowboys, they're a great rushing team. I'd like to see them throw the ball more as their quarterback continues to get better.
Well, you see what Buena does, it's always that big play-action play that gets Jaden Thomas open. It's that play-action, tucks it, and then looks deep, and he's got like 2 or 3 yards. So watching Wilcox, if they could somehow make that a bigger part of their offense, man, you could probably end up with 2 or 3 touchdowns every game.
This game last night was such an entertaining game. You know, we called this the game of the week, projecting it was going to be a good one, and it really was. You love to see competitive football games. A lot of times you get blowouts, but this game was amazing because we saw kind of back and forth. First quarter was all Benson. I'm sorry, it was all Wilcox. Second quarter was all Benson. Going into the half, Benson's up by 5. And then the second half was all Wilcox Cowboys playing on senior night, last home game of the season, and they're in control of their playoff destiny right now because they're leading the region in 2A. So Benson really needed to get a win last night because they're kind of on the bubble of maybe being out. But losing on the road to arguably the best team in the region, it's a loss, but it shouldn't hurt them so much.
If there's PowerPoints involved, they might even add,
Right. I mean, because Wilcox has only lost, what, one game this year?
Yeah,
one game.
So,
really
losing
good.
to a really good team and not getting beat by, 10, 12 points, that's got to count for something as well.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, both. My thoughts on that game were everything that you said. It was a great game. It lived up to all the hype. You have Dawson Judd, the star quarterback of Benson on one side. Then you have that elite running game and rushing attack from Wilcox. And it's kind of like, what's going to give. Both defenses are good, not great, I would say, but both offenses are really good in their own separate ways. So we knew it was going to be a good game. I think, I feel like Wilcox made the critical plays at the end of the game for those big first downs. We saw in the highlight there, you see the highlight, but what's lost is the context of the down and distance and the time on the clock, and that play that Wilcox made where the quarterback heeled through to Asher Ward on the sidelines. That was a huge play. I believe that was like third or fourth down or something like that. They ended up getting that fourth down, which ended up leading to that touchdown that Demarion Jackson caught there. Those type of plays, put Wilcox in position to where they have the lead. You talked about that Caleb Cook run being the nail in the coffin. Well, how was that the nail in the coffin when it's still early in the game? Well, because their rushing attack is so good, they were able to control the rest of the game, control the clock, because they had the lead, and now they're just playing that. Yeah. They could lean on their running game. When Benson was up, it puts pressure on Wilcox to have to pass and do things that they're not all that comfortable with. Yes. But the fact that they had the lead with that run, now they're like, hey, we have the lead. Let's just keep giving it to our backs. Keep giving it to
You can tell that their coaches took the team into the locker room at the half, and they said, let's get back to what we do.
On the season, Caleb Cook, 73 carries, 825 yards, 11 yards per carry. Okay, so the next player on the team. Cuevas, 81 carries, 612 yards, 7.6 yards per carry. He has 11 touchdowns on the season. Caleb Cook has 9. I didn't say that. And then you've got
Asher Ward.
Asher Ward, 600 yards, 11 yards per carry. He's at 5 touchdowns. You think about like an offense that can just grind away a game. That's scary. That's
why the Wilcox, they lost their first game of the season. Yeah. I forget it was who it was against, but they've won every game since then.
They've been just
and
awesome.
If you don't get a lead on them early, you're in trouble because they will consist.
Yeah,
they are true to themselves. Like you said, they went to halftime and said, let's do what we do. And if they're allowed to just keep running the ball, then it's going to be a tough night for anybody.
And I can tell you, by watching that game, there was a stretch of plays where I think they had a dive play that they handed off to Cuevas maybe like 5 times in a row, and he's breaking off 5 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards.
And these were crucial moments where the defense knows what's coming.
Yes.
And they know they need to get a stop.
Big shout out to the Wilcox offensive line, because as the game went on, you could tell they wore down that Benson Bobcat front.
I'm so glad you said that, because John had just shouted out all of those running backs.
Yeah.
For Wilcox, if they're averaging 11 yards per carry, and it's multiple guys doing it, not just one superstar, okay, we have to give credit to that offensive line. That offensive line coach, I don't know the name, I'm sure somebody could shout it out. The offensive coordinator, but the offensive lineman and the offensive line coach is doing a great job.
Rushing yards on the season, 21, so this is the entire team, 2,148 yards. 9 yards per carry. That's the entire.
First down every time you run the ball.
And then they've got 25 touchdowns.
Yeah, enough said.
eight games.
Yeah, I mean, it
was great watching it last night. And now we're give me all these numbers about heavy running. Some people think running that much is not entertaining, but it was great football to watch, because it was punch and counter punch, and it was great. Broken tackles, spin-offs, pancake blocks, everything you want to see in a football game, it was there last night.
Yeah, good stuff. And shout out to Benson too.
I was just going to say,
I love watching Benson this year. I'm hoping that they can get into the postseason, because I'd love to see some more Dawson Judd play. He's one of the premier quarterbacks of the area. Andrew Workman is a great player for them as well too, that we'd love to see keep playing.
Judd with 1,900 yards, 1,985 yards on the season, 22 touchdown passes. So Wilcox's 25 rushing, Benson's 22 passing.
Right.
Just contrast the style.
Yep. And then you've got, he spreads it everywhere. So he's got a player with 27 catches for 481. He's got another kid with 430, another kid 420, and then 473. So that's Santo, Evans, Workman, and Stark, all of his receivers.
And he used all those guys last night.
Yeah.
He distributes the ball very evenly amongst that receiving core.
Yeah.
They do have some good receivers.
Of the top 5 producing rushers in Cochise County were
Yeah.
on the field last night. And the 3 that were there, they all wear the same jersey. You know, a lot of times we talk about the Thunder and Lightning with a running back combo. Well, they got Thunder, Lightning, and Rain. They got all 3.
I love that. That's so great.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Shout out to Wilcox. Right now, hottest team in Cochise County. One of.
In the 2A.
One of, because we got to show some love to Berean.
Rolling like a juggernaut. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yes, unfortunately, we don't have any of their highlights today, but we do know that they won big once again. I believe that score was 56-0.
Oh my gosh.
They're doing their thing as always, as they took on Ajo in Ajo last night. I believe we will have that game on YouTube, or it may already be there, but
we'll see.
Going on the road and getting a huge win.
So,
all right. Before we look at the last game of the night, we want to thank Fyzical Balance Center. Fyzical Balance Center is much more than your typical physical therapy clinic. At Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, they focus on improving your quality of life by using holistic, whole-body approach to connect your diagnosis with a customized plan of care. Opened by Dr. Tap DeWong of Tap Into Wellness, love your life with Dr. Tap at Fyzical Balance Center in Sierra Vista. All right.
yeah, shout out to Fyzical Balance Center.
They've
We
been
get into
such
our-
great people to us.
Yeah, definitely. And to Cool FM and, just the support of all of our sponsors to showing that they care about youth sports and local sports and these local athletes gives us an opportunity to do what we do to highlight some of these players, like what we're going to do right now. We're going to highlight who we think should be player of the week.
So, player of the week.
We have some few names to go out there. What's your
do.
case for Michael Lujan?
250 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Enough said, okay.
right?
He wasn't stopped. Like I think he was only stopped for less than 5 yards, maybe 3 or 4 times. And that's 20-something carries, averaging 10 yards per carry. That's pretty awesome as far as I'm concerned. And of course, I'm always a Jaden Thomas guy, so he had a great game. But I think out of that game, we've got to probably give it to Lujan.
It's close out of him and Jaden Thomas.
Yeah.
Jaden Thomas with the 2 interceptions and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah,
almost
2
puts
receiving
him
touchdowns. It really
in an elite class of how many players have even done this before?
on offense and defense. So he had a punt return that went for a touchdown that got called back. So that would have been his third
And he had a
touchdown
fumble.
on the night.
He had a forced fumble that
Yeah.
got called back as well too.
So it's so hard to is 250 yards and not being stopped. But you also consider the offensive line is a part of that too. So you can say maybe the offensive line gets a player of the game with Lujan, or you go, Jaden Thomas just being able to do everything on both sides of the ball. That's a really hard balance.
What can't Jaden Thomas do at this point?
I don't know, man. He's a solid tackler,
And I can tell you what defenses can't seem to do. They can't seem to keep Michael Lujan from getting 3 digits in the yard category.
Yep.
No, he's a workhorse. He's been the steady for Jaden Thomas gets a lot of our highlights, and he was Cool FM Player of the Month last month for all of the things that he's been able to do. But Michael Lujan has been steady,
both of them
through this whole season so far. It's hard to not go with him for this week.
What I would designate is a player of the game and an offensive player of the game and an MVP because I would give I could probably say Thomas MVP because he plays both sides. Offensive player of the game by far. I mean, there isn't anybody. Anyway, okay.
I would even say that's a good point because even for the season, I would say that would be a fair assessment. You could say Michael Lujan's been the best offensive player for Buena all season. Not that Jaden hasn't been great offensively. He's a top receiver. He has.
Right.
But when you look at what he does on both sides, you'd probably say, okay, he's maybe the most valuable.
Man.
But I'll throw a couple other names out there
let's hear it.
that played last night. Dawson Judd, even though it was in a losing effort, he still put up a fight, does what he always does, both sides of the ball. Gave us touchdowns, rushing, passing, and an interception.
Interceptions on defense.
Oh my gosh.
And a lot of pass breakups too. I mean, we just talked about Wilcox's standout receiver Jackson. Well, guess who was shadowing him over the top all night? Dawson Judd.
Yeah. So, and then Caleb Cook of Wilcox, who was on the winning side of that biggest game of Cochise County, having a phenomenal game. He's on the top plays and plays of the week and all that. So,
but Dawson Judd being in Player of the Week nominee as one of the players on the losing squad. I mean, that kind
shows you how well
really
he
good.
Yeah, he's really good. His name just stays on here every week. And I would also give an honorable mention to Miles Richardson.
Sure.
Yes.
At Valley Union.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we talked about how impressive they've been, especially over the last month, scoring about 55 points a game. And you might say, oh, yeah, that's because it's 8-man and they're just scoring a lot. Well, they've only averaged giving up 3.
Yep.
They've been winning 55-3.
They've been stacking
So
teams.
it's not just running around, everybody scoring every other play. No, they are running the numbers up, right? And Miles Richardson is their guy, their big-time playmaker. He's always on the highlights, and he's always going to give us a play or two on the top players of the week. So I'll give him some love in there too. But too many guys to really just give it to one. I think we just nominate all these guys.
I got another guy I want to
let
nominate.
them talk about it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I want to nominate Demarion Jackson, the Wilcox Cowboys standout wide receiver. This young man had, I believe, 2 touchdowns last night.
Two nice ones.
And one of them, we didn't get the video in the highlights, but I mean, he kind of just grown man the kid last night. He was completely covered in coverage. He reached over the defensive back and just snatched the ball from him in the end zone to score. And of course, you saw that great fade ball, one-handed, that he caught late. That was late in the third quarter, I believe he caught that play. And that was after that pass that Hill threw to Ward that kind of set that next play up. So, Jackson had a phenomenal game last night. So,
and if he's like that, that makes that Wilcox team dangerous with the way they run the ball.
Yeah.
And you have a receiver like that out there on the wing, then that's
the best you can hope for.
Yeah.
I mean,
they kind of set you up, run, and then they can throw it out. It's like jab, hook, and they can knock you out with that throw.
Oh, man, that's the way I feel about Buena. That's exactly like they can just run.
Buena's very similar to that too. We run heavy, but you have Jaden Thomas on the outside, and you got a good quarterback that can get him the ball, and other guys too. So yeah.
All right.
Speaking of these great players, we had a chance to talk to our female athlete of the month of September, Miss Meena Marsh. She came in, and we had a chance to talk with her here in studio. So we have our special guest with us today. Very pleased to be in the presence of Athlete of the Month, Female Athlete of the Month of September, Miss Meena Marsh. Give it up for Miss Marsh. Miss Marsh. Meena Marsh plays volleyball for Benson.
Yes, I do.
Tell us a little bit about that. How's your season going as a team and for you personally?
Our season is going very, very well. We are 10th right now in our region. We were 7th, but we just plan on going up and up and up. Next week we have 3 games. And I feel like as a team this year, we're just very well, and we all know each other. Everyone that starts have been on a club team. We've all worked together for like a year. We all know like to support each other when you're down, but also win. That's the main thing.
So very experienced.
Yes.
You're like battle tested.
Yes, because in club we have games after games after games.
I love that.
As a player, I'm just here to win. I love winning.
And you guys have been doing a lot of that, right?
Yes.
I mean, what's your record?
We've only lost against Empire.
So 1 loss on the season?
1 loss.
Okay.
Very good.
Very good, very good. And obviously, to be a leader on the team, you're in your senior season.
Yes.
That has to mean a lot to you. Have you been in the program all your years there?
I have been in volleyball since I was little, since 5th grade, since it started. I started doing club in high school because I wanted to achieve more and be better as a team, to be up there on varsity. And just with our coaches and everything, I feel like we are all leaders in our own little ways.
I like that.
And we all communicate very well. With volleyball, you have to communicate. If it's like silent, you lose.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, volleyball is a very vocal sport with
Yes.
the teammates and everybody. They stay engaged in the game. I actually wish
yeah.
basketball teams were more like that. You know,
Yes.
so that's cool. What would you say is your best part? What's the best part of your game? How do you help your team be successful?
I really just like coming in and digging those balls. I just love, personally, people don't like diving. I love diving.
yeah?
Yes. If I don't feel like hurt by the end of the game from diving, I feel like I didn't do enough.
We need her on the football team. What is this about?
That's what I love about your game the most, the fact that you don't mind doing the dirty work.
She's
Getting on the
fearless.
floor and just, you know, somebody's got to do the hard job, and you proudly step into that role.
Yes. I do practice a lot, and I want to show up for my team.
Yeah, well, like that fearlessness and that resilience, that ability to overcome like impact, and like you're saying, if you're not feeling sore, man, I
Yes.
mean, that's awesome that you can overcome that kind of thing and just mentally tune that out. That's a quality that I don't think a lot of people get to achieve, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great because that's actually one of the things that your coaches and your athletic director said about you when we mentioned that you were going to be our featured athlete of the month. It was overwhelming. The response was, you're such a self-sacrificing player. You do whatever it takes to help your team win.
Yes.
170 digs.
Yeah,
just
lead the team in
averaging
digs.
Machine.
Yeah, on my stats, I usually get like 30, 40 digs, but next week I'm really trying to get like around the 40s
Wow.
on
Okay.
each game. So
That's winning. That's winning volleyball.
And you're
Yes.
also 13% at acing. Like aces. Gosh,
Yes.
I really like my terminology is really
it's like
acing.
Yeah.
You say
That
ace-
serves
you
immediately
serve and
correct.
then it's like they shank
Serve,
it
okay.
or it
Right.
goes straight down.
Right.
Yes.
So doing what it takes all around, not just on the court, but off the court as well.
Yes.
Obviously, you're doing what you need to do in the classroom. Tell us a little bit about your academics and maybe what you're looking to do outside of this year moving forward.
Well, it is my senior year, and I take school very, very seriously. My dad always said school before anything else, before work, before volleyball. And I take volleyball also very, very seriously. So I do have to be on top of my academics. And outside, when I graduate, I want to be an ultrasound tech.
Okay.
Whoa,
So-
cool.
Yes.
That'd be fun. Well, hopefully it'll be fun.
I like it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, and this is probably going to help educate our audience more about volleyball and some things about it. Tell us a little bit more about the particulars of your position and how it helps your team be successful.
Well, I'm libero, so it's the opposite jersey. I'm middle back, and it's a start of, you start with the ball first. You have to give them something to work with. And I feel like volleyball is very much a mental game. With back row, I know it's very mental because you're the start of the whole play, basically. So I have to pass the ball and get a good pass to the setter so they could get to the hitter and then they could kill the ball. So it's very a mental game. You just have to be positive the whole time and just think, this is volleyball. Why get down in your head?
So libero is not primarily, it's not exclusively a defensive position. You just don't score unless you're serving, right?
You can score back row. Sometimes they set me and I could hit back row, which I am trying to learn more on, like how getting it more, snapping my wrists more so it goes straight down. Like Hazel Chapman, when she hits it, goes like straight down. Same
love
with
that.
Lucy.
You
All of
get
our
so
hitters,
high up
Rayleigh,
there, right.
all of them, they can just like smack it straight down.
I don't know
They're
how.
very
I've got
impressive.
long arms. I don't know how to do it though. Like
No,
you'd
it's
think
a-
I'd be
They
able to do
jump,
it.
they
It's a
block,
skill.
and everything.
It's a skill,
It's very
yeah.
impressive. My front row, I trust my front row very much. So once the other team hits to me, I just have to read them where they're going and try to dig it up as much as I can.
Well, the other thing is when you're blocking, when you're in that center, that front area, getting up and like when those girls are spiking the ball, that's your ability to dig. That takes a lot of bravery. But those girls up front, man, they're taking the same. It sounds
Yeah.
like everybody has to be very brave in the sport or
Yeah,
on your
definitely.
team.
Yeah. So when do you guys play next? What's the future for Benson volleyball right now?
Next week we have 3 games. One is our senior night on Friday. I know we
Okay.
play Bisbee, Morenci, and Tombstone.
Okay. And which one? Your senior night is coming up on Friday.
Yeah,
It's
which is
coming up
against
Friday
Tombstone.
night against Tombstone. So that'll be a big night for you then. Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Very cool.
Okay. Okay.
Hopefully show some new moves, back row hitting maybe. I don't know.
All right, that would be so
Yes,
cool.
yes. So that's good to hear. We'll be keeping an eye on your senior night, and also beyond that, we want to see you excel in the postseason and see where you guys can go
Yes.
and ride this thing out as long as you can.
Yes.
Is there anybody out there you want to shout out while we have everybody's attention here in the Cool FM world?
Just my coaches and my players. Without them, there's no just one in team. It's everyone.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So athleticism and humility from the Miss Meena Marsh here.
That's kind of the thing for these Cochise County athletes. I've seen a lot of people that I are genuinely impress me as high school students with their humility, just like you're saying. And I'm very grateful to be able to cover these sports where I'm just not disappointed. You know, that feeling where you're like, oh,
All these teenagers, so disrespectful.
These kids, man.
Impress me every day.
We've got a bunch of kids that get good grades. They behave well. They seem like they're learning a lot of lessons to become adults. When I feel like I went to school, it was just to get through school. But it seems like you guys are taking yourselves much more seriously, and I respect that a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for this award. I appreciate it very much.
For sure, and we have a certificate for you. We'll give that to
Let's
you.
see
But we'll. Yeah, like you said, shout out to your coaches, your parents, obviously.
Oh,
doing
yes,
an
my
excellent
parents.
job with you to get you to this point. I'm
Yes.
sure the club
All the
volleyball was
money.
not cheap.
She did it herself. She
Club
taught
volleyball,
herself.
club volleyball's not cheap. I'm
Very
sure.
not.
And to get you to this point, so shout out to them and everybody that
Salute the
chipped
dad.
in.
Tell her to keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll give you this here.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Thank you. It
Presented
looks
by
amazing.
Ed Morse Auto Group and Cool FM Sports here. You were the female athlete of the month. We'll get your picture right here.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Meena.
Yeah,
That's
means a lot.
thank
Thank
you for
you.
joining us and being here, and keep it up. You're a great example for younger athletes that are going to follow in your path, whether they play volleyball or whatever sport, especially on the female sports side of things. We need positive examples and things that are going to reinforce the young athletes to know that they can do this and who they can role model and be like. And you're doing a great job.
Absolutely,
Of
yeah.
it.
Good. I always hope to be an example as a role model.
Yeah, great job.
man. God
Great
bless
job.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very cool. Well, Meena, what a great interview there.
Yeah, no, it was great talking to her. I love, I think you said it in the interview, just to how impressed we are with some of these young athletes that we have
For sure.
in Cochise County, and she's no different. She obviously making her family and her school and her coaches and her teammates very proud for what she's doing on the court and off the court in school as well. So,
Yeah.
loved it.
All right, now let's dig into a little bit of the college football stuff that's going on. Arizona,
Is Arizona getting beat
I
right
don't
now?
know.
They
It
probably
says it's
It
the
is
end of the fourth. Is it
final.
over?
Final, yeah.
they kind
closed the
they
gap
tried to
some, though.
come
Two
back.
fourth quarter touchdowns. So score ends up being 31-28. Arizona loses to Houston, a very good Houston team. They go to 5-1. Washington is getting smoked by Michigan 24-7 in the fourth quarter. I don't think they'll be coming back from that. So
Well,
that's kinda
Michigan's
sad.
good, and they supposedly have the best freshman quarterback ever. Have you heard that?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys.
Sure.
Do we consider it an upset if Vanderbilt beats LSU today? And they're ahead right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But,
Even though Vanderbilt is way better,
But that's-
And I'm asking
it's
that
not
because
it's not as big as upset as it used to be.
this
That
ain't
was-
your granddad's Vanderbilt.
Right.
The Vanderbilt Commodores are playing some real good football this
They
season.
beat Alabama last year.
Right.
Like, that was the most ridiculous.
That was an upset, big upset.
that
So
might
this
be-
one wouldn't be as big as that, but I think most people still thought LSU would be one of the premier teams
Right.
in the SEC. And
They were projected to win that game by Las Vegas.
2 touchdowns, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. They were projected by a bunch, and anyway, so that was really cool.
one of the-
Oklahoma.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, 24/7, man. They're running up
hey,
on.
that's my team.
Yeah, South Carolina. They're just. It's the third quarter.
I still think Oklahoma, my Oklahoma Sooners. We lost to Texas last week in the rivalry game, but our quarterback was hurt, and our quarterback is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the country. So, and in a rivalry game, anything can happen.
Right.
Agreed.
Texas, I think, was also a team that started the season overrated.
Definitely.
They've lost, and now they're kind of underrated.
I know.
Because you want to just
Everybody
throw
hates
them in the trash.
Oh.
But it's like, come on, they still got they
can make things happen.
had the top recruiting classes for the last 3 or 4 years. They still got some players over
I
there.
feel
Don't
the
think
same.
that you're just going to go into Texas.
We are so quick to throw people in the trash or
You
teams.
talked about this before. You talked about this last
Well,
week.
man, we just get rid of these guys, and we're just there's things we can overcome and learn. And the Chiefs, everybody's the Chiefs are garbage. They lost 2 games, and they didn't look good. And then,
I agree.
It's
I agree, but I
week
think you're doing the
6.
same thing with the Eagles. With your take on the Eagles. They lost 1 game, and now they're trash.
I didn't say they were trash. I didn't say they were going to the Super Bowl. I said that it's the Seahawks, and we'll get to them. We'll get to stop it. We're still in college football. Miami had a huge game. They're number 2.
Yes.
They lost to Louisville last night.
Did.
So
Sure
and
did.
then
Shout out to
Minnesota.
Louisville.
Oh my
Here's
gosh.
what I love about this season in college football. No ranking is safe. No lead is
Seriously.
safe.
I know.
Upsets
Seriously.
every day,
Every
all day.
day.
I love the parity, the true parity that we're getting in college football now.
It's
Yeah.
like when you get that number 1 next to your name, it's almost like a target.
It is. It
Target.
totally is. That's why I always think the Chiefs like losing a couple games.
they don't wanna be
They're
known
like,
as
oh,
that.
we suck,
Yeah.
we suck. And then they get into the playoffs and they start turning
They turn
it
it
up a little
on,
bit.
right? Yeah. Nobody wants to have that target on their back.
No.
You think you do, because you go undefeated and you're ranked 3. You're like, hey, why are we being disrespected? We should be. Do you really want that?
Let's just stay 3.
How many number 1s have lost this season in college football? It's almost every week.
Yeah,
Whoever
it's
number
changing.
1 loses.
The
like
top normally doesn't change this much.
Right.
But it's getting passed
Better
around
balance.
this year.
The craziest
More
part,
balance.
I mentioned that Texas started off number 1.
Yeah.
Until they were unranked.
I'm sorry, that's
They
just
went
laughable.
from 1 to not even being ranked.
My apologies to the Longhorn fans.
I don't know if that's happened
It was
very much.
laughable that y'all were a preseason number 1. I was like, "That, come on, man."
But they did. It wasn't
problem
just
with it.
them. They Penn State. It was
Penn State fired their coach, man.
Florida.
Florida.
Florida was highly ranked, and they're looking. You know what I mean? A good point. I think college football, the parity and the anybody can beat anybody any given Saturday now.
Ole Miss, Georgia.
It's good for the game.
That's another great game. Number 5 versus number 9. Number 9 Georgia.
All them
Number 9.
SEC games are good.
And they'll beat up on each other. You know?
Yeah.
But there's another team that nobody's really talking about how good they are. The Indiana Hoosiers.
Oh,
I've heard.
Yeah.
I haven't
3.
seen any of their games,
Yeah.
but I've been
Oh,
seeing
they
them. They
Surprised. Was
undefeated.
that Oregon last week?
Yeah,
that they beat?
huge game last week.
I know that they haven't lost, and they looking good. So
Yep.
yeah, and I also think the landscape of college sports in general, especially football, you can see it easier, is just changed so much because of NIL and because of transfer portal. So teams like Indiana and other teams have a chance to beat
Washington.
good teams,
Yeah,
really,
Oregon
really good
State.
teams. Gone are the days where Alabama,
Just
even
runs the
Oklahoma in the
team.
80s
Dude,
and stuff,
yeah.
where they would have,
Miami
hey, the
of the
top
80s.
3 or 4 quarterbacks in the nation are all coming here, and I'll start one of them. The other ones are in the quarterback room,
Yeah.
right?
How many of those
Now those guys are
quarterbacks
like-
just sat on the bench and never got a shot? man?
Quarterbacks went to one school.
Yeah.
Remember,
I remember-
Miami had all those running backs? They had like 5 all Pro Bowl
Well,
running
5, yeah.
backs sitting in there on the bench.
And
I remember that-
instead of rotating him through, he would run Willis McGahee into the ground.
Well, hey,
But he still was a great back.
It was awesome.
I remember
2000.
in the Oklahoma glory days in the 80s when Barry Switzer was the coach, he made a statement, a quote that was hilarious, that he would say, I get the top 5 running backs in the country, not just so I can have them, but so they don't have them.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'd rather than be on my bench than on the other team
playing against them, right?
right?
Well, I
And
mean,
gone are those days. You can't do that anymore.
No.
I mean, they had Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders.
Which
You
is
know?
nuts.
You know?
Hall of Famers on the team.
So you have now, like, you know, even the backup quarterback is someone like, you know what, I could go over here.
I know.
I can go over here.
Get a little bit of playing
and it
time.
affects the game because now, just like in the NFL, if your quarterback gets hurt, your season is almost derailed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you don't have a good enough
Not
backup
as deep as they
to come in and do what your starter can do. In college football, it didn't used to be that way because the difference between your starter and your backup, it was very slim. You know, now with transfer portal, if it's close, that guy's leaving.
You want
Right.
to know what Bill?
So now you're having a backup quarterback is just somebody that's like, hey,
Going
I
from
don't.
5-star to 3-star.
I'm fine being the backup
Right.
because I don't have options to go
You know
anywhere else.
what they're finding out is the old Bill Parcells thing where he said that he wants his quarterback to start 3 years. He wouldn't take any quarterback. So these guys are, instead of sitting behind someone, they're getting their 3 years.
Yeah.
These players are getting those reps in,
Yeah.
and it's leveling out. Like, you've got great players on every single team. There's one or two that are going to go to the NFL. It's not like Alabama running the table with like 15 first-round draft picks, you know, like
Right.
a few years ago.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
It's going to start leveling up. Players are going to come out of Ole Miss like they always do, but like Oregon State, you know, you'll see guys at
'cause,
Alcorn State.
well, you'll always have transfers. My team, Oklahoma, I keep bringing them up, but it's
They're
the best
awesome.
example of this because
They keep
we
getting
have
quarterbacks.
6 quarterbacks starting in the NFL.
Dude,
6.
That's right.
Caleb
Oklahoma
Williams,
is
Spencer
not a
Rattler,
throwing
Baker
team.
Mayfield, Jalen Hurts. I'm missing somebody.
Rattler.
Spencer Rattler,
The fact that
Kyler Murray,
Kyler Murray,
and
yeah.
all of those guys. Every single name that I just named, none of them came to OU as a freshman.
Right.
They all
All
transferred.
transfers. Yeah, and
point.
it's
You gotta get reps.
that's crazy. I mean, and then look at the kind of bleed over. For a long time, you had schools in the SEC like Vanderbilt, Kentucky, who probably weren't getting the best recruits, right?
Right.
They're getting the guys that Georgia and Bama couldn't
Don't
get.
want, yeah.
But
Right.
now
Yeah.
they're getting top of the line guys, and it's showing up in the win column for these guys. So I love to see it.
They're getting
I'll admit
paid.
it, folks. I'm biased against the SEC. I don't like to see the same team win all the time.
I'm right there
so
with
I
you.
love the underdog, and
I
so go Vanderbilt Commodores. I want to see how far they can go.
Dude, I'm a Pac-10 fan. There is no Pac-10. So, like, what? Hey, you got
You know what
at
I
least
am? I'm a hypocrite. Because when Oklahoma was in the Big 12, I was like, man, forget the SEC, bro. Like, now we're in the SEC, and I'm like, we are kind of better than everybody else.
Yes, it's like the pro league. And it's all leveling out. All right, so let's move on to NFL real quick. We're gonna make all of our picks. Okay, big game: Raiders versus Chiefs.
Why are you laughing? He acts like
Because he knows. He knows.
Big game.
Chiefs.
I'm gonna go Chiefs on that.
Okay, we'll get through that one. Rams versus Jacksonville.
Rams, man,
yeah.
Rams looking good.
Yeah,
this
they
year.
looking pretty hot.
Well,
right now.
they're in.
Jacksonville's been better though too.
Yeah,
I mean,
they've
both
been-
teams
they've
sit
been
at
really
4-2.
good, dude.
Actually, you might have to think about that one.
Travis Hunter is playing very well. He played.
Lawrence playing
Trevor.
well.
They beat the Chiefs.
How healthy is Nakua? Because he got a little banged up against Baltimore.
That's a big.
That's probably the most important player for the Rams outside of Stafford. I'm going to take the Jags. I believe they're playing. Yeah, it's in London. Oh, dude. London games for the Jags
they love
are like home
Jaguars.
games. They're all.
Yeah, the Jaguars are like
have-
London satellite NFL team.
Their owner's name is Sadiq Khan. He's from London, dude.
okay.
Like, so that
That's the
goes.
connection. Okay.
If there's a team that goes to London, it's the Jags for sure,
Now, the
and they've
Ra-
been talking about
The
that. For a long
Rams
time.
did something kind of interesting. They played in Baltimore last Sunday. Instead of traveling back to LA, they stayed in Baltimore and they actually practiced out of Oriole Park at Camden Yards, the baseball stadium. So they stayed in Baltimore all this week and practiced before they flew over to London.
Really?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they don't have to fly from.
So they didn't have so
LA.
much
Oh,
travel back
okay.
and forth and
That
changing
makes
time
sense.
zones.
That makes sense. But
smart
that's
move logistically by the Rams. At least, fly from the West Coast to Europe is a huge jump in time zone.
Well, so that's the thing is like Baltimore to London is actually closer than Baltimore to LA. That's how wide the United States is, dude.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah.
Now we're getting geographical
I
lessons.
know.
Hey, no, that's good
We
stuff.
do it all here.
No, but that's
We'll get the globe out and we're like, okay. This is
No, but that's good stuff. That's interesting that you point that out. I wonder how that's going to affect not just the travel,
They've been
what you're
talking
saving,
about
but
it.
also the level of focus. You're keeping this team away
Yes.
from
On the
home,
road,
away
yep.
from whatever, to get laser locked in on nothing but football this week. We'll see how that affects them on the field.
Dude, it shows that they're pros. They're like, we are that locked
Yeah.
in. Okay, Patriots versus Titans.
I like New England in this game.
I
Mike
do
Vrabel's getting these guys
He
warmed
is.
up, and this is a chip on the shoulder game
love
because
Vrabel.
he got fired by the Titans.
Yep.
So
Dude, they should not have fired
And honestly,
him.
the Titans are not that good of a football team right now.
Yeah, I
and the
agree.
Patriots are ascending. They're on
Yes, they
are.
they're going the right direction.
Dude, you found out that Drake May, they offered, two teams offered him 3 first-round draft picks for Drake May in the draft.
What?
So, yeah, in the draft they were.
Wait, so
two
3
teams-
first rounds?
Yeah, there
Oh,
were
I
2
would've took
teams
that.
that were both offering. I know,
that.
I would have taken 3 draft. Dude, you
first
remember what they got
rounds?
for Herschel Walker? So all you young kids don't know it. In the early 90s and the late 80s, the owner for the Cowboys traded Herschel Walker, who was by far the best running back in the NFL. Well, I guess there's a couple other guys right there, but they traded one of the great running backs to the Minnesota Vikings for just this huge haul of players. Ended up being Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Larry Allen. Like the list goes on of all these Hall of Fame players that all got stuffed onto a team all at the same time because they all got drafted at the same time.
So that goes to show you, if you're a Cowboys fan and you love those rings you got in the 90s, thank the Vikings.
Thank Herschel Walker too, man.
What's sad about that is that we're paying the cost for that as a Cowboy fan
For
to
life.
this day
For life.
because the same owner of the Cowboys that was there, Jerry Jones, he thought he was going back to that trade over this Micah Parsons thing. He thought it was going to be the same thing, like, hey, I'm going to trade this great player in the peak of his career when he looks like he's the best defensive player. And look at what I did with Tony Dorsett. We ended up building a dynasty off of that trade. So he's thinking along those terms, not understanding that this is a different day and age.
Yep.
It doesn't work like it used to back then. No one's going to give you, the world and let you build a team off of one player. And with the salaries and all that kind of stuff, that way things are now,
not a defensive
it's going to, right. So yeah, we're still paying the cost for that.
Yeah, that's been rough for you guys. Okay, did you say Patriots as well?
I'm going to go Patriots, yeah.
Okay. Saints, Bears. Bears at home, and they're a 3-point favorite.
They've been better.
Bears got the win. Was that
Last week? Was it
Thursday night?
Yeah.
Over the Commanders. So Caleb Williams looked pretty decent in that game. I'm gonna go with the
love
Bears in
Caleb.
this.
Despite how Troy Aikman feels about him.
Dude, Caleb Williams is
What
the real
is up
deal.
with that?
Dude, Caleb Williams is the. So I say the same thing also about
But Spencer
Trevor.
Rattler's been good too for the Saints. I mean,
He's much better than
Saints
he
need a coaching
was.
change. I'm
Like,
sorry. They
yeah,
need a
maybe it
coaching
was.
change.
you're probably right.
Well, so I'm
But
taking the Bears in this.
I'll go Bears too.
Bears
They're
at
at home.
home.
Yeah.
Kevin, you said Bears?
Yes, Bears.
Okay.
Yep.
Dolphins, Browns. Ooh, gosh, Browns at home.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm gonna
They got two,
My son will be happy with this. I'm going with the Dolphins.
I'm like, who's going to play quarterback for the Browns? Like,
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
feel
for the
like
Browns. Who's the quarterback for the Browns?
gonna
Dylan
be
Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
Right now, he's their number one. Shadur Sanders.
I feel
is
like
number
if they
2.
play, I like Dylan Gabriel.
Oh, I know.
Oh
I
yeah,
do
he's
too.
the other. He's
I
the
love
other
him.
OU guy.
love
He's
him.
another OU guy.
How these guys all run through Oklahoma?
Seriously. So I like Dylan Gabriel because of the Oklahoma connection, but
Yeah,
I want to see Shador Sanders get his shot. I feel like Shador gives any team a better chance, any bad team a better chance to win because of his random playmaking that you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he
yeah,
could just,
his mobility. Well, he
Mobility.
extend plays. So the problem, the good and the bad is the exact same thing. In the NFL, they say extending plays
is a bad thing.
It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing unless if you know what you're doing. He was sacked more times than any college player last year because he extends those plays. He's trying to get those big plays. He's got Travis Hunter, man.
Was not very good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Well,
and
They had
and you
to
see,
abandon
you're
the
right,
run in
because
some games.
NFL quarterbacks, Justin Fields was that way.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams was even that way, where it's like you're holding it too long.
Yep.
A sack in the NFL kills your drive. It's over.
Right.
You might as well punt, right?
3rd and
you
10, you're
these
done,
sacks.
Take sacks on third
Now,
down.
in college, Shador would be like, I got sacked on first down, second down, and third. I mean, and first and second down, but third down, I'm going to pick up the third and
he's got Travis
26.
Hunter, you know.
Right. And you're just not doing that in the NFL. But I still think the Browns aren't a good football team that's winning game.
Let 'em try.
Offensively, they're not. Defensively, they're okay.
They're pretty solid.
But offensively, they're not anyway. So sometimes you don't put a new quarterback in there just because that quarterback's better. You want the whole offense to feel a breath of fresh air and get re-energized or get some confidence that, hey, maybe we can win with this guy.
Changing the
I want
energy
to
helps.
see Sanders play next season. And the reason why I say that is throwing him to the Wolves right now does what?
That's also a really great point. You look at all the successful quarterbacks in the NFL, most of them have sat out that first year. So,
Or
it
they
might be
play and
better
they're terrible for that first
Coach
year.
got a
Maturity.
prediction. Shador Sanders is going to get traded in the offseason.
Whoa.
I believe he will too. And honestly, it's
Oh, that'd be too bad.
we talked about this on the show when the draft and all this, and I like Shador Sanders, but if I'm a GM, I'm not drafting him because it's always a crapshoot with rookie quarterbacks. You don't know what you're really getting, despite what all the experts say. And he's going to come with more drama and baggage that I wouldn't want to bring into my locker room. Not because of him. I'm not like one of those people that thinks that he's a problem. I think the media circus around him is the issue that I wouldn't want in my locker room. As soon as I bring him on my team, now my starting quarterback, whoever that is never not going to have confidence.
Yeah, puts a
he's going
target.
to always be. He's going to get booed now.
Sure.
People are going to be calling him
Very
bad.
critical of anything he does. Yep.
Absolutely. And then it's like Shador doesn't have the maturity just yet to even handle that the right way from his perspective. He still has to vouch for himself. Yep. So he can't be like a Russell Wilson who goes to a team and says, hey, right, whoever the best quarterback is, I'm just here to compete. No, he needs to vouch for himself and say, hey, I'm the guy.
Right.
They brought me here to win. They brought me here to play. That's what young quarterbacks should be with.
Whenever have we seen a third-string quarterback get this many interviews and this much attention from the
That's a
media?
good point.
Right.
All right, let's move on to Jets versus Panthers. Jets at home, but the Panthers are projected to win by 1.5.
They got momentum after their win
They
against
beat the
Dallas
Cowboys.
last
I'm
year.
not taking the Jets for anything.
No, I
Dude,
wouldn't either.
I really like Aaron Glenn. I'm a big fan
I
of
do
Coach
too.
Glenn and what he did in Detroit and his energy that he brings. He just doesn't have a good football team. this
Yeah,
year.
well, I mean,
I'm going with the Panthers in this.
Yeah,
one.
who's the Jets' best player?
Justin Fields?
No.
Sauce
No.
Gardner?
Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner on defense. Their
Wilson
running back.
on offense.
Their running back.
Hall.
Brees Hall. Brees Hall
He's pretty good.
is probably their best offensive player. Sauce Gardner. Those guys. I mean, they're good players. What I'm saying, the fact that we even had to think that long and
Yeah, I'm
wonder
trying
who
to
it
think
is.
of defensive linemen.
I
and
can't
think they
tell
got
you
rid
3
of
receivers that play for them.
Williams.
All right, you know what I mean? You're right. I like Aaron Glenn too, but they just don't have the person.
But I hope
Yeah.
they give him the time to get it right.
But Panthers, man, they're
Well, he
getting
just got
good.
there. Hopefully, they give him a little bit.
But you know how it is. Sometimes
I know,
guys
right,
don't get a lot of time.
exactly,
Hey, we're not happy
exactly.
with you and out of
Right.
there.
Eagles at the Vikings.
Eagles.
Eagles. Yes,
Yeah.
Eagles.
Sometimes I feel like the Eagles.
Not
All
burying
the Eagles need is a little bit of drama, a little bit of locker room, this and that.
Yeah.
They had that last
Little
year.
motivation.
Remember,
Yeah.
there was times last year and even the year before where it's like, oh, what's wrong with the Eagles? Lo and behold, they're still leading the division, and people are saying that they don't argue, they don't get along, and
Their
all that.
defense is really, really good.
People starting to question if Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback and stuff.
That's
It's
crazy
like, what?
talk to me. That is crazy talk.
He is a good quarterback, and so the thing about him is he's a game manager, and he is such a good game manager. That's my problem with Lamar. I love Lamar. Well, I don't love Lamar. His game management, but he's the most talented, like all around physically gifted player, probably in the NFL. Dude can throw the ball forever, but when I see him like lose motivation or like hang his head and like I didn't see a hamstring injury, but I'll just say, man, like,
John, I won't argue with you. And I'm a Ravens fan.
I was not happy with that because I expect more out of Lamar, and that's but
you're right. Jalen Hurts is kind of
we need to talk about Jalen.
He's
a game manager.
Ultimate.
He's good.
He's such a game manager that people actually think that it means he's not good or
no,
not,
that's
that's
not the same.
I watched him again, another OU guy. I watched him at Oklahoma, and he was the same way. Of course, playing against college athletes, he's just dominating those guys. But it was always like he's just the perfect team leader. He's always even keeled.
His temperament,
His temperament, yes.
I love it. Dude.
And he makes the right plays at the right time. He never tries to do too much.
Yeah.
You never find yourself being like, why didn't you do that?
How much do you have to throw the ball when you got Saquon Barkley in the
I
backfield?
know.
Why are we getting on Jalen Hurts for not throwing the ball when you have probably one of the best, the great offensive line and one of the best running backs in the league standing in the backfield? I'm gonna hand the ball to you too.
It's the same thing with the Chiefs. Like you were saying, I think we might be burying them a little bit early, and like the Eagles will be just fine. We'll see them in the playoffs. I just think that the Seahawks and the Buccaneers are better. That's all. But let's move on to the Giants and Broncos.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't know about Seahawks. I don't know about Seahawks.
I think
the Buccaneers might be. It's fair.
I think they're both good. Yeah, right. They played. I mean, the Bucks beat them, but and they were injured. So we've got Eagles. We did that. Giants, Broncos. I'm taking the Broncos at home.
This should be a good game.
Well,
I don't know if I'll pick the Giants to win any game this season. I know they will. I'm not saying that they will, but I don't know if I can pick them. They're just.
I can't pick the Giants to win, but I definitely want to watch them play.
No, they're
fun to watch.
They're fun to watch. Now, Jackson Dart,
what they call it, Arm and Hammer is what they call them. I like that nickname, Arm and Hammer. I love it.
What a great name.
I love that name too. I love it.
All right. Colts, Chargers. This is actually probably the best game.
This should be a good one.
Colts are really good, and the Chargers we're trying to figure out if they're any good. And they're playing at home. So the Colts fans will probably outnumber the Chargers. The Chargers don't. Nobody cares about the Chargers in LA.
It's hard to be a loyal Chargers fan.
I know, dude. I lived in San Diego. I was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I'm like, as a Chiefs fan, I wanted to go to Chiefs games in San Diego, and I'm like, nobody even cares. They just
remember the first
team.
couple of years of them playing in LA, they would have when they played in that soccer stadium, it was like a home game for every team that played there.
It still is. Anyway, and you can fly right into LA.
Right.
Walk right. It's just like Vegas. Every home game from Vegas is an away game.
Right.
It really is. It truly is. I was in Vegas a couple years ago when the Ravens played the Raiders, and I saw purple jerseys everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's how it is. It's like, hey, we're going to go see our team play. Where are we going to see it? Hey, let's go to Vegas.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Commanders, Cowboys.
Oh, here we go.
At the Cowboys.
This gonna seem like a homer pick because I'm picking the Cowboys. But only reason why I'm picking the Cowboys is because they're the most inconsistent team in the NFL.
It's like
and they just
the dice.
lost last week to the Panthers.
Yeah.
So they're more than likely they'll win. And truth be told, Dallas Cowboys have a really good offense.
Yeah, they do. Dak has been
They just have a really bad defense.
Two wide receivers looking good.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is having one of his best years.
Yep.
And then the addition of George Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't the biggest Pickens fan because he does certain things that bother me.
I don't like the attitude, but his game.
His ability and like what he did last week in that game, oh man, it was amazing. So they can figure that thing out and how to incorporate Lamb into it.
It's like if Marshawn Lynch had come back as a wide receiver. You know, he's just like throwing people and punching people.
No,
and
I didn't know much about George Pickens. I mean, I've seen his highlights and stuff, but I've been impressed with him as a.
He's awesome.
It's kind of one of those things though that I wonder if the Dak Prescott thing is he can only feature one receiver at a time because it was CeeDee Lamb. And then when CeeDee Lamb got hurt, George Pickens is making all these plays. I wonder if it's possible for them to both be on the field at the same time and both shine.
Well, it's only one football, right?
Right.
Only
That's
throw
what
the
I'm
ball
saying.
to one guy. And then here's the other thing too. Defensively, we're gonna focus on one of them. So one of them is gonna get double coverage or safety shadowing over the top, and that's gonna create a favorable matchup for the other one. You can't double team them both.
Dude.
So I think that Lamb is kind of getting that attention right now, which is enabling Pickens to shine. Kind of like if you go back a couple years ago when Antonio Brown was a Steeler and Juju Smith-Schuster was looking like a rock star. Yes, because Brown had 4 defensive players
he's taking the
looking
whole
at him all
defense
time,
with him, right?
and Juju's running free and
We
cut
could talk
free
about
in the field.
Steelers wide receivers, dude. You got me. I love those Steelers wide receivers all the time. I'm gonna pick. This one's
Is
a coin
McLaren
toss.
playing?
Who?
McLaren?
Oh, see, that's a good question.
Terry's healthy.
I don't know. If he's playing, that changes things because Dallas secondary is the worst in the
Yes.
NFL.
It doesn't say anything about him being injured.
Well,
Dallas-
he's probably, yeah.
Debo's injured. Debo
Dallas
Samuel.
used to be able, they were built to stop the pass, and now they're not.
No.
Now they're not.
It's the weakest part of the game.
Parsons really hurt them. defensively.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
I'm gonna go with Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Packers versus Cardinals at Arizona. Gosh, that loss last week was about the most heartbreaking thing.
So I think they bounce back.
Yeah, well,
think
they're at
they bounce
home.
back.
Yeah, against the Packers, and the Packers are kind of like you never know where you're going to get
I think
with those
they
guys.
Packers were overrated to start the season.
I agree.
The addition of Micah Parsons hasn't been what they
Definitely
thought
helps.
it was going to be. I think hasn't been fully healthy. He might not even play
Oh my gosh.
tomorrow. So I don't know about that, but
Let's go with the home team. Let's go with the Cardinals.
yeah, I'm gonna go.
All
Cards.
three of us.
I'm gonna
All
go
right, I
Cards
love
on
it.
that.
I love it. Okay.
No, but they've been looking good too, though, because the
Dude.
receiver Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yes.
He snapped out of his funk, and he's been
They
everything
call it
he
a
was.
sophomore. You remember back in the 90s, they used this sophomore slump. That every wide receiver, and if you didn't come out of that, you never became a
But
wide
that's
receiver.
because you come into the NFL and we potentially think what you're gonna be, right?
Yeah.
But after we get film on you that first season,
Yep.
now we can study your tendencies, and guys really start attacking that. So the sophomore year, you learn what you're weak at, and then you get the opportunity to improve on that year 3.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay, Falcons at the Niners. Falcons have been looking good.
And what's up with
Didn't
the
the Niners
Niners?
just win last week?
Injury,
They're just
injury,
injured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
both
go
the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Atlanta too.
I'm gonna go Niners.
Shout out to Bijan.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's been looking so good. I
Straight out
love
of
him.
Tucson.
Yep. Tomorrow night or Monday night is Texans Seahawks.
I know who you're taking.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Seahawks. That's
you're
not
taking
even
it.
close.
No.
It's at Seattle, dude. That's a hard.
Speaking of
place to play.
sophomore slumps, which I think is not even sophomore year, we're talking about
Smith and Jigba.
the quarterback at Texans. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Yeah. Stroud.
Yeah,
C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud.
Wasn't he supposed to be better than he is right now?
Yeah.
But
It
look at
seemed
what
like he
we're talking
was-
about. Everybody has film on him.
Yes,
They're studying
exactly.
him, and there are again. They're going to attack his weaknesses.
Yeah, he's got to come around. He's got to get through his Baker Mayfield moment, and then come and be a star. We've also got Buccaneers at the Lions.
This is the game I want to watch.
I know, me too.
That's gonna be a good game.
That should be a really good
Dude,
game.
it's a 5.5. It's at Detroit, and Detroit's picked by 5.5.
That's a lot.
I know.
Against
I would-
Baker and them. I would pick the Lions, but I would probably put my money on that Tampa Bay and that spread.
Dude, I am taking Mayfield against the Buccaneers defense right now all day. Dude,
I
the
said
Chiefs
it.
ate them alive.
Wait, you're saying the Lions defense? you
Yeah,
mean?
their defensive backs.
The
Dude,
Lions?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've got a great defensive line, but they
But
got
both
chewed
of
up.
the top 2 receivers for Tampa Bay are hurt.
Oh, dude, I still take Mayfield and any
So he's
wide
gonna be
receiver.
throwing
the Baker is
Sterling
going to go in the
Shepard.
kitchen. He's going to make some bread.
If you forget how good Detroit was, man, they were like the Super
And
Bowl
Detroit is
pick.
great.
I
They
love
are
it.
great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Baker just finds ways to win.
Yeah.
He has. He has.
I'm taking, so Thursday Night Football, the first game of the next week, Minnesota Vikings versus the LA Chargers. I'm taking Chargers on that one. I don't believe in the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't. Vikings aren't. I'll take the Vikings on that one. Though.
Okay.
I just don't think.
Good defense.
Coach Harbaugh, J.K. Dobbins playing with a chip on the shoulder, having a resurgence. I'm going to go with the Chargers as well.
All right. Well, there you have it. Get your gambling advice from us. Make all your money. Anyway.
Make sure to cut us in on your winnings.
Oh, yeah, dude. I can definitely use some loot. All right. So thank you to all of our sponsors, Seniors Helping Seniors, Prestige Remodeling, Physical Balance Center. The Cool FM Live Sports Show would not be possible without these people. So when you're out and about town, if you watch this show and you think that we do a good job, or even if you don't think we do a good job and you're just like, these kids do, they're covering our kids, please give those people a shout out. We really appreciate what they've done for us and what they're doing it's them that's doing this for the community. So we appreciate them. So wrapping up, I'm your host, Jon Berger. Let's get out of here. We got Coach Dennis Baker, Coach Lassiter. We got Dan Powers on the keys
Dan
over
the
there.
man.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and check in next week. God bless.